We compared two 8-core processors, Samsung Exynos 2100, with Mali G78 MP14 graphics, and Qualcomm Snapdragon 888, with Adreno 660. Here you will find the pros and cons of each chip, technical specs, and comprehensive tests in benchmarks, like AnTuTu and Geekbench. As for the CPU performance, single and multi-core processor tests. The Exynos 2100 scored 85%, while the Snapdragon 888 scored 88%. As for the gaming performance, like the GPU performance in games and OpenCL/Vulkan, the Exynos 2100 scored 90%, while the Snapdragon 888 scored 93%. As for the battery life, like the efficiency of battery consumption, the Exynos 2100 scored 93%, while the Snapdragon 888 scored 98%. As for the nano review score, meaning the overall chip score, the Exynos 2100 scored 89%, while the Snapdragon 888 scored 92%. A major advantage the Snapdragon 888 has is that developers optimize games for Snapdragon processors more often than for Exynos. The AnTuTu benchmark test that was carried out to measure the CPU, GPU, RAM, and general performance in different scenarios between these two processors shows that the Exynos 2100 scored 687,601, while the Snapdragon 888 scored 712,236. The individual test also showed that the Exynos 2100 has better CPU and memory, while the Snapdragon 888 has better GPU and UX quality, making the Snapdragon 888 a better option. The Geekbench test shows raw single-threaded and multi-threaded CPU performance. The Snapdragon 888 outperformed the Exynos 2100 in both categories, making it a better option. They both have 8 cores when it comes to their frequency. The Exynos 2100 has a higher frequency of 2900. They both have an instruction set of ARMv 8.4a. Both also are 5 nanometer in size. The Exynos 2100 GPU is called Mali G78 MP14, while that of the Snapdragon 888 is called Adreno 660. As for the architecture, Exynos 2100 has Valhalla 2, and the Snapdragon 888 has the Adreno 600. The Snapdragon 888 has both a GPU frequency and shading unit, and the Exynos 2100 doesn't. They both have the same Vulkan, OpenCL, and DirectX, but the Exynos 2100 has higher execution units. When it comes to memory, they equal each other in every way. In the multimedia category they both similar qualities, but the Exynos 2100 has a higher max display resolution, while the Snapdragon 888 has an extra double 25 megapixels. The Exynos 2100 shoots 8K videos at 60 frames per second, unlike the Snapdragon chip, while the Snapdragon 888 beats the Exynos chip by having an audio codecs. In terms of connectivity, they also have some similarities, but the Exynos 2100 dominates by having a higher 4G support, download and upload speed, but only the Snapdragon 888 has dedicated modem. They were both announced in December 2020 and are but rated as flagship processors, but only the Snapdragon 888 has a model number. In conclusion, the Exynos 2100 seems to be lacking a lot of features that the Snapdragon 888 has, using the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra that has both the Snapdragon and Exynos variant. PC Mark Work 2.0 and web browsing battery life test shows that the Snapdragon 888 version of the Galaxy S21 Ultra lasts longer on a single charge compared to the Exynos 2100 version of the phone. Samsung has improved a lot compared to last year, but it still needs to work harder if it wants to defeat Qualcomm in the smartphone processor game next year. Thanks for watching. If there is anything we missed out in this video or you have a thought on this topic, please do well to leave a comment.